breaking down the game, and I love watching because I learn a lot. But even like guys like him and Van Gundy, and like I heard Van Gundy say, bring Kevin Love back and bring him off the bench. Hello. And well, before I just say hello, I understand why he's saying that because of the problems they had early in the season where it didn't feel like it was enough basketballs to go around. But I'll say this. The Miami Heat made it work. You remember that? Remember when they started their first season and it started off real rocky? They couldn't get it together. They weren't defending very well. They weren't looking in sync on offense. And people were saying, see, that's the problem. When you got this big three, there ain't enough basketballs to go around. They figured it out. Inevitably, they figured it out to the tune of 4 straight finals. Yeah, if you're gonna tell me that, if you're gonna tell me on one hand that you expect so much more out of Tristan Thompson because he's playing with LeBron James, I'm going to say the same thing about a guy who was a double machine in Minnesota. A guy who got many a 20-20 nights, 20 points, 20 rebounds, many of those in Kevin Love. Like, I think our memories sometimes fail us because we get caught up in the moment. We become slaves of the moment. And this is definitely not me detracting anything from Tristan Thompson and what his game is, but what I think his game is a lot more one-sided than Kevin Love's game is. I think I get a lot more out of Kevin Love on both ends of the court. Well, take that back. Not necessarily defensively. I think Kevin Love can rebound just as well. I know he shoots better. He's a better offensive option. As far as him being the defensive player that Tristan Thompson is, no, you do lose some of that. But this is where the emergence of Timothy Mozgov comes in. You got a rim protector. Everyone knows how valuable those guys are when you have them. You get the pressure a lot more on the perimeter. Guy gets by you. Guess what? You got to do that at the rim. That can wipe away some of those mistakes guys like Iman Shumpert might make because he's playing such pressure defense, or a guy like J.R. Smith can play because sometimes he falls asleep on defense. You know, either way, you got a guy, so you don't necessarily have to have the defensive prowess of a Tristan Thompson. It's good to have it, but if I had to trade, if I had to give up one for the other, yeah, I might be saying goodbye to Tristan Thompson. You know, and it's not me just being a contrarian. You know, I just like dudes that can do more. You know, like as much as I love DeAndre Jordan, you know what I'd love more? If DeAndre Jordan had a jump hook. You know what I mean? If just one move. Yeah. He don't have to have like a bag of them like Elijah one. Just give me one, B. Like one little drop step, or no, two. I'm sorry. Give me like a jump hook and a counter to it, like a drop step. Give me two little simple moves that they teach high school kids, and we'll be cool. But people talking about paying DeAndre $10 million or whatever it is, these max dollars, and it's gonna put the Clippers in a bind because it's like, how do we max this dude out when really, you know, what he is what he is. He's a rim runner, he's an alley-oop catcher, he's a rim protector and a rebounder. But he don't give us. We play basically 4-on-5 offense when he's on the floor, and he can't shoot free throws. By the way, I don't know if anyone saw that news clip. Yeah, DeAndre Jordan can't shoot free throws, so it's a problem. Yeah, exactly. Breaking news, cliffhanger. Now, Rob, the other side of this coin. If Golden State loses this series, what are we talking about the day after? After the confetti is down, after LeBron's on the podium with Bill Russell again and giving him one of those awkward handshakes, what are we talking about the next day?
How Mark Jackson was in the locker room with the Cavs smoking a cigar. He's like skeeting Matthew Dellavedova with champagne. That's ridiculous. That's probably the worst combination in history. Like Mark Jackson and Matthew Dellavedova partying. Yeah, somebody's getting hurt, dude. I don't know who. Yeah, it might be Dellavedova. Y'all can sleep on Mark Jackson if you want to, thinking he's all preacher. Well,
yeah.
no, but you know, I think it's the same thing with Golden State. You know, they still have. They're still in the situation where next year they could be the front runners out the West.
I mean, they're still in their position. So
now remember, Draymond gonna need some money.
Yeah.
You re-up Clay, but the mixtape, Steph Curry, boy, when it's time for his money, he gonna come get some money now.
Yeah, well, we know that.
What else they have going on contract wise over there? I can't. Maybe Harrison Barnes, maybe. We'll check on that, and either by the end of the show today or tomorrow, we'll get their contract situations. But Harrison Barnes and Draymond might be in the same category as far as it's time for them to get some money. And obviously, like I said, you gotta lock that other dude up, that other backcourt dude up. You got Clay last year. Yeah, Warriors gonna have to. There's no option in that situation. There is no option. Clay.
We know that.
Curry got to get his money. But go ahead with what you said.
Let's see. I just pulled up the contracts, and you have Steph Curry under contract through 2016, 2017.
Okay, so that's next year.
Let me see. Draymond is up after this. Yeah. After this series, yeah. Draymond is a free agent. Let's see, who else? Leandro Barbosa. I don't know if they want to bring him back anyway.
Nah.
Maurice Spates is a restricted free agent after this.
Get to the real people. Get to the real guys, dude.
Yeah,
Tell me about Harrison Barnes.
Everybody else is under contract. Harrison Barnes is under contract through, it looks like they have an option for 16, 17.
Okay.
So he's under contract. Look like he might be a restricted free agent. Clay got paid through 2018, 2019. So Steph is due his money. Like I said, his contract ends in 2 seasons. So they still have a little bit of time with him. And then Andrew Bogut, his contract, Steph's contract, and Andre Iguodala and Harrison Barnes. They are all up at the same time.
Okay. All right. So the next day,
they got time.
Following day, what are we talking about? Warriors lose.
Like I just said, I think that you're talking about a situation where people will be like, well, depending on how the series goes, and I think the series will be really good. But it'll be a situation where some will look and be like, well, they were going up against LeBron James, and he proved again that he is the best player in the universe. But if you're a Warriors fan, if you're out there on the left coast, the Warriors still have enough going into next year to give you hope. And again, neither one of these, look, they haven't won a championship since '75. The Warriors, Cleveland ain't ever won a championship. Yeah. So right now,
like 40 and 51 years
teams,
respectively.
Right. Both of these teams are in unfamiliar territory. So if you're a fan of either team, you got to be excited. You got to know that you got 2 of the best players in the world coming back to your team next year. You got LeBron coming back. You got Steph Curry coming back. So, this could be another – look, the God honest truth is we could see this same matchup next year in the NBA Finals. This same matchup.
That's always tough, man. And like I told you, I've learned my lesson.
And I know.
I've learned my lesson.
I know, but I'm just saying, barring injury, barring anything crazy happening, but this is legit. Kind of like the Jazz and the Bulls ended up playing back-to-back years, Mike's last 2 years with Chicago. I'm just saying that it's possible because I still think that they're the better team coming out of the West if they're able to re-sign Draymond, which I'm sure they will. And then if they add another piece or two, they'll still be the best team in the West.
That's the thing. Draymond gonna want max money, man. That dude's gonna want max money, And so, if you're the Warriors, you're gonna have to be fiscally responsible and figure out.
But I think, but you can do it because if Steph is not due any money until 17, 18, you got Clay through 18, 19.
That's under the assumption that they're not going to try to do what they did with Clay. They didn't let Klay Thompson play that contract out. The same way that Oklahoma City didn't let Russ or KD play their contracts out. They re-upped them.
Right.
During the contract. Yeah, that's a smart money way to do it.
And then we're talking about new money coming into play. So if they sign Draymond now for whatever the max is now, in another season, when it's time, if they want to go ahead and offer Steph a new deal, then that money will be in place. The new salary cap will be in place, and then you can do it.
But that'd be actually 2017. That's a 2017 cap explosion. And here's the other thing: we got to make sure we be responsible with that cap talk, because all the cap means is that's the money you can spend. Like, if you don't have the cash, SOL. Right. You know what I mean? Like, you still got to have cash on hand. So if Steph shows up and wants a $30 million deal, and they can't cut a $30 million check, it don't matter what the salary cap is. No matter if it's uncapped. Yeah. You can't cut the check. We got 4 minutes. Okay, for me, I honestly don't think it's going to be that big a deal. I think it'll be, for me, I think it's going to be a parallel to what, kind of what the attitude, the overriding attitude here in Atlanta about the team. They realize they got a good team. If they were to lose the series, they realize that all the foundations are in place as far as your coach. You've now got what it seems to be harmony between the front office and the coaching staff, or the head coach, to be particular. You've got a bunch of guys that play together and seem to like playing together. And you got a fan base. Well, this is probably the part that's kind of opposite the Atlanta Hawks, to be honest with you. They got a fan base who's very, very invested in what the team is doing. So with all those things, I don't really see there being a backlash. I do kind of see it being a backlash, sort of, in LeBron. Like, no one cares at this point what LeBron put in the letter, because you hear. You know what I mean? Like, they mess around and scrape out a 6 seed or something like that. Okay, then everyone's expectations have already been tempered. Yeah, you've broken the curve, because you're the kid in class while everyone else got a C on the test. You just got an A. The curve has been broken. So now you hear the people in Cleveland. I can only assume. I meant to text our guy Branson there and ask him some questions, and I forgot. But I can only assume now no one even remembers that letter. It's like, yeah, we about to win this. It's about to go digital for real. And if they don't, there'll be that same disappointment. As though, like I said, as though the letter was never written. They're going to be as disappointed. And the people who are those people will start talking about LeBron James' finals record. They'll start talking about him being, 2-5 or whatever.
2-5, yeah.
They'll start talking about that whole situation. And then what they'll do, the thing that they always do, they'll start comparing it historically. They'll start talking about Michael again. They'll start talking about Magic again and Bird and these people and the amount of success or lack thereof that previous or past Hall of Fame basketball players had in in identical situations. So I guess what I'm saying, all in all, it's probably going to be a lot worse a loss. And again, it depends on how the series go. You know what I mean? If every game goes
really
down to the wire,
is that really fair?
I don't really live in that world. Fair and unfair.
I'm saying just depending on LeBron. When you talk about when you start talking about these guys historically, and then you look at the supporting cast Magic Johnson had, right? LeBron ain't never had that. In Miami.
Here's the thing.
But in Cleveland, he never had that.
You asked the question about being fair.
Miami.
But if you want to ask the question about being fair, who's going to get all the praise if they win? It damn sure ain't going to be Amon Shumpert. You feel me? Yeah. So it comes with the territory. You know what I mean? You're going to get all of it rained on you, win or lose. You're going to get the good rain. If it's a win, you get the bad rain if it's a loss. And if you're LeBron James, you know this. You've seen this before, all the Skip Bayless and all this foolery. You've seen it before. You've heard it before. Yeah, I don't see it being a problem in and of itself. You know what I mean? I don't see it being a problem for him, I should say. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's 60 minutes, man. That's the first hour of Sports Kings Live. You got Big Mike, Rob Calloway. As always, we are on Spreaker.com and the Spreaker app for your now for your Apple, your Android, or your Windows device. So make sure you get that in your life. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.